of Open champion here. Space Station on one side, 9LIVES on the other, and they await the victory chance at the grand finals. Folks, let's get into it. Get up and get loud. It's game day.
Well, it is heating up here. Can the Snowmen survive? Space Station Gaming get their first shot on the field against a 9LIVES team that is all warmed up. Game one, Manfield, brought to you by Progressive as we get our next matchup underway, inching ever closer to crowning a winner here in our first NA Open. Gopher looking for an early shot, denied by Scribbles.
This is going to be a really interesting matchup here, especially for 9LIVES. I mean, you heard Hoxer in the interview. It did seem like for him, they saw it deleted as a more defensive style team, but this SSG squad is full offensive firepower, especially when they get you close on the counterattack. How is 9LIVES going to be able to mitigate that level of pressure here to make this series close? Desk already has them counted out, but we'll see how they move upfield already. They've been able to do pretty solid holding things on defensively, but that's going to be the name of the game here.
Oh, Kofer, big drive denied by Reveal. It looked like it might have been wide right anyways, but he makes the stop nonetheless. And now Frosty tried to play it further on for him. He's still got all the boosts in the world, and Scribbles waiting for a pass, and Kofer's in the way to make sure it never gets there. Chicago ahead. Only one to beat, but that one is Reveal, who's got it firmly on the backboard. And now here comes SSG the other way, and Reveal would have liked another 50 boost to work with as he runs out, and the attack might just stall there. Nobody on the weak side, and Kofer will chase it down.
You can see still, though, that great midfield challenges on the side of 9LIVES, just being able to keep things a little more slower pace than I would say what SSG is kind of wanting to play at. These cuts to get that second man, to get those second man beats, have been really effective in this style of play. Almost a good pass there, Hoxer, if he connects with that, maybe could have got it to Chicago.
Well, Chicago still all the way back, got there in a hurry, and Scribble's going to try to meet him there and wins the race. Hoxer has to be careful with this on the back wall. He was close enough, and now Chicago just taking his time and going to try to let everybody else get in position. Kofer's got half a tank right with him, and he can start to dive in. Can Chicago play this? Yes, but Hoxer still way too far back, and again, another attack stalls out for 9LIVES. You know, they'd love to get out and run against this Space Station squad. They just haven't had the horses to do so, and then they get tangled up in their own corner, and Scribbles picks it apart.
Yeah, they were kind of looking for a play out, and you see the touch from Chicago. It just leaves a wide open net. No one able to actually get back in time or to get even a remotely close save on that. It's just wide open for Scribbles. And it just kind of goes to show you that sometimes that pressure that comes out for Space Station Gaming is so good at being able to break down the defense, and whether they want to try to get on a counterattack by passing things out in rotation, it just makes it so much harder now with the level of speed this team brings.
Kofer got checked away from that corner boost, and so SSG able to retain it for themselves, and Frosty's got all that he needs at the back, and he may factor into this with Reveal getting stopped by Kofer. There is Frosty. Hoxer gets juked, and scoring is Frosty right over Chicago, right around Hoxer.
Great catch, and just that wave dash to regain control while keeping the ball on top of the hook was so effective. Got the flick past Chicago, who's in a awkward spot, low boost. Very well executed from Frosty.
Hoxer, demo on Reveal. He spawns back in on ball side, and it does not deter SSG at all. Frosty does send that across. Everybody was overloaded to the right side, so nobody to follow up the play. Maybe a brief reprieve for 9LIVES. And they came out very slow in their series yesterday, and then ultimately won in 7. They have been battle-tested in this tournament.
Yeah.
Things not going so well for them right now against SSG, but again, early in the series.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that even in a lot of series for 9LIVES, especially as Frosty almost able to land that double. Wait, can Scribbles get this one? No. Yes! It gets through! And we have another goal for Space Station Gaming. I mean, look at just how effective their offense is. A nice floater. I thought Chicago had it, but he had no boost in the tank. And Scribbles gets it right around him.
This is not a team that lights up the scoreboard on the 9Lives side, and they are serving as a punching bag right now for Space Station Gaming. Reveal. Got it up to Frosty. Oh, almost scored a worldie. And that's the level of confidence that SSG is working with right now. Hoxer, indirect off the ceiling, rather mundane by comparison. Has a 3-goal lead now for Space Station, and you wonder if they can expand it with a little bit of razzle-dazzle.
And Frosty looks in form right now, playing a really good game individually. 1 for 3 in shooting, 2 assists and a save out of him, but also his field presence. Just look at this, just 2 beats in the midfield. That gives so much room to SSG, and they try to see if they can make a play out of it, but the defense is pretty strong here on the side of 9Lives. Hasn't been the best defensive showing this game, but that does not mean that it's not going to change as the series goes on.
And we've already seen a couple of times today how every game in a series can kind of take on a life of its own. Can you imagine the best still yet to come out of 9Lives? They've got a very smart coach in Fireburner as well to kind of help them lead the way and right the ship. Reveal, trying to force his way through Chicago, and that's going to skip all the way out. Can they at least get 1 to break up the shutout? If anybody's going to do it, it's that guy, Kofer. And Hoxer there to follow up. It goes high and wide, and that should just about do it here for game 1. It is all Frosty for Space Station Gaming as they throw a shutout in game 1 to take down 9Lives.
Well done. I think the eyes are going to be a little bit on Frosty here over the course of this series, especially with an individual performance like that to start us off here. Strong showing for SSG. Both teams equal in terms of saves this game, but it did feel like a lot of that presence on the field was mainly dictated by SSG. Point being, though, for 9Lives is that, 1, they live up to the name in a sense, but then also, especially from what we've seen today, we saw in the deleted series, deleted will come out, get 4-2, 4-0. That didn't necessarily mean that 9Lives was out of the series. They've been really good at being able to bounce back on certain games, no matter how the scoreline goes, with a timeout, without a timeout. And it really is going to, like you said earlier, Stacks, you got to treat every game like they have a life of its own.
They were outscored by 3 ultimately in that series with deleted, and still, of course, managed to win. So now their goal differential on the day, -6, and they're still very much in this series. Again, game to game, it can change in an instant, and it's going to have to mentally for 9Lives as we go to Forbidden Temple for game 2. After a 3-0 shutout in game 1, what does Space Station have for an encore? Hoxer's got a lot to say about it, so too does Kofer, and it looked like kind of a fake kickoff is going to backfire on them. My gosh, did that blow up in their face or what?
Yeah, they tried to have Hoxer take that one, but the challenge goes straight to Frosty. Well handled and executed by Space Station Gaming on that, and they get one early. Yeah, so here we go. Is this going to be a trend, or are we going to clean it up for the second kickoff?
Let's throw the disclaimer out there. Every game can take on a life of its own. Maybe just every game could also be one and the same. It's still very, very early, but 3 seconds giving up a goal when your master plan kind of backfires, that's not a good omen.
We see Kofer here trying to take this one high, looking for that double. Chicago can get there. Good on reveal. He had low boost, but he was still able to just track the ball very well to make sure Chicago didn't have a clean follow-up. Kofer, though, with a chance to bring this one downfield. He has Chicago once again. But a little too high for Chicago, and Hoxer tries to cut. He'll be out of the play for a moment. And just a little too far forward here initially for 9Lives. But Kofer himself individually doing a good job of bringing the ball in that orange end, giving them an opportunity.
Well, Hawks to the center, and Frosty served it up for Kofer, but cleaned up his own mess. And Hawks is going to dive right back in, try to score here. Tough angle, but he scores it anyways. The threat of Kofer coming on might have caused SSG to hesitate a bit, and Hoxer ties the game.
Yeah, you talk about that threat, and then it's the threat of the pass, but it's also just a really hard shot to block. You got to be able to make a decision there. Unfortunately, defense chooses the wrong one, and 9Lives back in it.
So their first goal of this series, it took a little bit to finally get on the board. And now that they do, they have a level score line in this second game. And a little bit of momentum to boot. This goes all the way across and reveal. Oh, big demo. Frosty high and wide. Just off the corner of the frame. And a bad break for SSG, and 9LIVES will look to capitalize.
9LIVES starting to get physical, and we'll see if that continues on. Reveal is looking for Kofor downfield to get a bump. Frosty gets a bump in front of the goal line, but Scribbles doesn't want to commit. So now the play will end up going the other way. You can definitely see that physicality turning up here as Game 2 continues on. It'll be a new challenge for 9LIVES, as you can see SSG wants to turn up the heat.
Way up high is Frosty, and boy, Hawks are very proactive out to meet him, not letting them get too comfortable at all. Just outside 2 minutes gone now in this second game, and yes, it has kind of taken on a whole new meaning. Reveal had to spike that one away, and 9LIVES look a lot more comfortable than they did in game number 1. Demo by Kofor. Hawkser double down to Chicago for the lead.
Wow, what a play again for 9LIVES. Just taking matters into their own hands. You got the demo from Kofor to set it up here as well. Scribbles' little boost. 9LIVES just waiting for a sign of weakness for SSG, and they pounce on it. 2-1 halfway through game 2.
9LIVES, outside of that very early blemish, have been pretty well in control here in game 2. It's a lot to be excited about. The problem is the quick hitters from Space Station mean all that work is all for naught. We're all tied up again.
They strike so fast. I mean, look at this. Just one bounce of Reveal lets it rip. He's been playing a lot of off ball this game, but he gets a chance for a shot, and he doesn't miss the mark.
Oh, Chicago given all the time in the world. Fortuitous break as that ball was just kind of left there for him. He has to bring it all the way back to Kofor. And how about the change out of Kofor as well? He kind of saw it mid-series yesterday, where again, it looked like he was trying to single-handedly win the series. You know, the lights are on, you're up on the mainstream, and now it's like, all right, rein it in a little bit. Mid-series made that adjustment. Chicago with a save here, stopping Scribbles. And Kofor has been outstanding in his role here with 9LIVES. Now he can try to take out Frosty.
Oh.
He does, and scores!
Looked a little personal on that bump up there. Great touch there from Kofor. Gets that initial pop, sees Frosty, and doesn't let him get a piece of it at all. 9LIVES with the lead. Everybody getting involved on the scoring front.
That ties him for the tournament lead in total goals scored here this weekend. And, well, not like Cheese is going to do anything about that. He's already out. So now Frosty. Right downfield through Hawkser. Try to get around Chicago as well, but Hawkser is the one who makes the stop. And quickly back the other way. No time to blink, no time to flinch for either of these squads. Hawkser kind of got caught up on the back wall, but Chicago will still score it. It looked like they were going to try to make Space Station uncomfortable with some physical play. Hawkser couldn't do so, but that rebound opportunity from Scribbles right to Chicago just put it on a silver platter.
Like you said, on a silver platter, and a great shot. Look at all this pressure we're seeing out of 9LIVES, though. Their offense has been electric this game, and you would think that it would be Space Station Gaming with a team that would have this much kind of offensive prowess, but 9LIVES are really taking it to them, at least in this game, too. Still plenty of time, though, for Space Station Gaming to get things under control. Final minute, though, but they got to stop the shots. Chicago almost added another one to the total.
Frosty taking his time, down 2 goals, less than a minute. And it is Chicago scrambling across to stop Scribbles. And Hawkser will just kind of take this out slowly. They're trying to work together and get downfield, but SSG are going to have another look at it. Frosty off Chicago. Reveal clangs the crossbar, and all the eyes they had. Oh, they get a fortunate break as Scribbles stays with the play.
Scribble stays with this one, but you see Chicago here. He's kind of boosted towards the ball. Kofor wants to clear it out, and He clears it right into Chicago. They still have the lead, though. 31 seconds to go, but they're going to be under a lot of pressure. SSG, no, they haven't. The kickoff helps, though, a lot here.
Well, the mental toll this is going to take on 9LIVES, potentially, if SSG find a way to bring this one back. Frosty trying to harass Hoxer there. Does not work out. As Hoxer's got all day to play that ball. Still had his pocket pick. And Kofer did just enough to get that to the post. Not out of the woods just yet, though. 10 seconds. Kofer around Scribbles. Reveal's got plenty to work with, but he's slowed down. Gonna be no time on the clock as Chicago brings it to ground and 9LIVES level the series.
Good on Chicago to clean that up towards the end, especially. And 9LIVES, another sigh of relief. They've been having a lot of those over the course of this weekend. But this one,
they're the new version 1. They're the new OG. They're the cardiac kids. I don't know if you can call Chicago and Hoxer kids necessarily these days, but boy, oh boy, they have made their fans sweat.
They've held on, and I think that's the biggest point out of them. You know, talking about SSG looking for opportunities and not necessarily able to convert too much offensively. Kind of gifted a goal there towards the end. But, you know, adjustments are going to be made going into game number 3 here for SSG. For 9LIVES, though, very impressive with how they handled this game, limiting the shots on goal in terms of SSG. But not only that, they were just so efficient on offense, and you could tell Space Station Gaming had a hard time trying to play around it. Not too many real transition plays, limited the number of counterattacks that were going on the field, and 9LIVES were in control very early on in that game. We'll see what happens here. No timeouts going into game 3.
Very early on in the series here, both of these teams understand it is a marathon, not a sprint. As we go to game 3, who's going to have the upper hand halfway home to pay dirt as Reveal will start it off for Space Station Gaming. We'll see if SSG can kind of get out to a faster start. They kind of let 9LIVES hang around after scoring that early goal, and, well, you saw the result. Reveal, you get around on this to center? No. Chicago, Stonewall right on the back line, and here come 9LIVES.
Oh, so close there from Hoxer. But still, they do end up getting a little bit more extra commits coming out of Space Station Gaming on that defensive front. We haven't seen too many incorporations of the fakes into shots here. Could be something that kind of shifts the way this one goes, but 9LIVES offensively have not really struggled too much. It's going to be Space Station Gaming here, as you see Reveal leading for Scribbles, and Scribbles again slams it home.
Just out of reach of, I think it's Hoxer, who just about kept it out, but goes down, up, off him, and Space Station score first again. Didn't matter as much in game 2, except it meant that they had a little bit of life at the tail end. Here goes Hoxer, looking to get it right back, and Scribbles up in a hurry to meet him. What does Chicago have in store here? Can he get quickly off the wall? Not quick enough, as Frosty's all over this, and back down it goes. So SSG trying to bounce back after one that they got to feel got away from them there in game 2. And again, this is a 9LIVES team that you cannot underestimate. G learned that lesson the hard way, and maybe this 9LIVES team a little bit better than certainly I would have anticipated.
And 9LIVES definitely you can see signs of that here. But SSG at this moment, I mean, I like how they're rotating. Their third man is always in a really good spot. I say that, and Reveal clean up through on this play as they break through the defense. Look at Frosty, initial touch. You have the threat of the demo. You have the threat of Scribbles, but who's watching Reveal? No one. Everybody going up for the initial contact, and it leaves a wide open lane.
Well, more people should be watching Reveal at all times with this Space Station squad. He's the team leader in goals. He's got 20 now on the weekend. Now Kofer's going to leave that one for Hoxer. Over towards Chicago. He was up in the air early, and the pass maybe not quite exactly where it needed to be. It certainly didn't allow him to get a lot behind that. Kofer, however, floater saved away by Frosty, despite the efforts of Hoxer running interference.
Yeah, it was a great stretch of offense there for 9LIVES, but they got to let go of the possession. SSG, though, when they have that active, third man moving around the field constantly and there's no real threat, we haven't seen 9LIVES send anyone up to really pressure that third. So it's going to be a little bit harder for them to kind of take up some field positioning here. Meanwhile, SSG on the other end of things have always been trying to look for either the boost or the bumps on the way back. It's been a big difference maker so far as 9LIVES are trying to get back into this one. Chicago almost, he tried to pre-jump the play, but couldn't make contact on the pass again.
I've seen a few times where Kofer's gone up to start a play and Chicago and Hoxer just kind of retreat because they realize, okay, this is going to be one and done, as Chicago making his third save of the game just past the halfway mark, and Hoxer denies that effort out of reveal. Frosty, second touch, not there, and Hoxer trying to weave that through traffic and ultimately ends up with Kofer, who's going to go to work again. Flip reset, goes through Scribbles, and Frosty's there for the stop. I think 9LIVES kind of understand exactly how they're all meant to work as a team, and they're not trying to do too much. They're not trying to overextend. They're not trying to take the game over single-handedly, though again, you imagine any one of these guys would certainly be capable of it. It's another lob up from Scribbles. That'll fall right to Frosty, and his drive denied by Hoxer early. Yeah,
the only issue with that is that SSG is so spread out that they have a lot of options when they do have that possession on ball. And 9LIVES have struggled to get possession because they are kind of playing a little bit standard and not necessarily taking risks. You're down by 2 here and time is ticking down. You're going to need a risk at some point if you're 9LIVES.
Ball has spent quite a bit of time on this half of the field, and the scoreboard reflects it. 2-0 to Space Station. Chicago looking to run through, and there was nobody up where he was in the stratosphere. Go for the demo, though. He's got Chicago with him, and reveal. Make sure that pass never got there. Hoxer could try to keep it in, but he gets tied up with Scribbles, so reveal can clear, and Space Station looking comfortable as ever here in Game 3.
9LIVES still on the orange half of the field, but very low boost. Chicago will get a piece of this. Kofer actually got the boost, so we'll try here for solo. Hoxer waiting. It goes right to him, and he nails the shot. Hoxer brings us within 1.
And when Kofer goes up, you can kind of back off the play, get boosted up, and try to read where it's going to go. And that time, Hoxer does exactly that. Had everything to work with, and an open net at the end. 2-1 now. The deficit down to just a single goal. This is where SSG was last game. They couldn't bring it back, though.
9LIVES are going to need something here. You see them kind of sit in the house, and they were rewarded for the efforts. Chicago starts this one off. Good flip reset to get it to midfield. Scribbles does have the cut. And it'll be Kofer to Chicago. Chicago trying to play that high, gets 2 to jump. Hoxer wants to intercept and does. No boost, so Chicago has to get up quick. No one can follow this ball. Frosty will clear it into space. Kofer light touch. Can he beat Scribbles on the play? No. Now 9LIVES, if they want to tie, they have to go the length of the field. Chicago doesn't have the boost for it. It'll get grounded. And SSG take Game 3.
That's a good bounce back out of Space Station Gaming. Again, you've got these young teams.
6 saves.
And you worry about, okay, well, that was kind of the big clapback from 9LIVES. How are they going to respond? Well, they respond by playing a very solid defensive game. Yes, they faced a lot of shots, but as you can see, Frosty denied a lot of them. 6 of them, as you mentioned, Daz, out of the 9 saves that Space Station had to make to hold 9LIVES just to that 1 goal. It holds up for SSG, getting goals out of reveal and Scribbles. And now we go to Game 4. And again, no timeout, still very close, still very early on in this series, it feels like, because of course, through 3 games, you almost have a sense that any series 9LIVES plays here on this stream is going to go the distance.
It does feel that way. I think the thing that just kind of needs to change up, I didn't hate their style of play towards the back half of the game. It's just the fact that, they were playing very defensive. They were limiting, shot chances, but they were down by 2 and they just couldn't get out. It really felt like SSG had them in a hole from just where the rotation was. And for 9LIVES, I think that's fine at the start of the game, but when you are down, you do have to kind of get things going, push out field, at least send 1 person up to try to disrupt some of the offense, because Space Station had them in a chokehold at least as they were trying to run the clock down. I think 9LIVES can definitely make those adjustments going into this game 4. They don't take a timeout. I think they're confident in their play as well.
Well, going into the top 8, 9LIVES was a very physical team, particularly Kofor and Chicago. See if they can recreate any of that. They have tried. They get the demo there on reveal. Of course, that's the guy you want to take out. Get him off the field for as long as possible. Here goes Chicago. Hawks are running forward. Reveal had to avoid him. Chicago wins it through, and Scribbles sends it off the crossbar for the save.
A chance to move downfield. Ooh, Scribbles. A beat there would have been crucial. Hawks are kind of rushes the touch, so he won't be able to get a follow-up there, but does get the ball into the corner. It's going to buy a little bit of space here for 9LIVES as they work here. It's been a good start for them, I would say. Tough for SSG to get upfield. A lot of good cuts on the side of 9LIVES, but it's still scoreless.
Frosty just trying to kind of be a safety valve there, release the ball for his teammates to get some relief, but then Chicago lines up a double, and that is old school Reed Curry.
Yeah, you said it yourself. Reed Curry lines up the double reveal, wants to put a hand up, just doesn't have enough to get a hand right there. And you let Chicago have the double, you pay the price. 1 up for 9LIVES.
His 3rd goal of the series, and none more emphatic than that. It sends a message to this young SSG squad, and now Hawkser, quick outlet towards Gopher. Off the respawn is Scribbles, and that is going to be sent right back out. Frosty now. Try to get that out of harm's way, but Chicago's all over him. And indeed, 9LIVES have turned up the heat, and Frosty is up to the task.
Yeah, I like that. You saw Hawkser and Kofor jump up at the same time. You could see the fake coming. Defense read it as well. You see a little bit of momentum after that double from Chicago. 9LIVES turning up the heat a bit.
Just playing with a lot more confidence too, and why wouldn't you? I mean, you know you are certainly in it here with this team, and think about all that's at stake with the point structure here. If you can get to the finals, boy, you are rolling in points. Still quite a bit of work to do. Frosty's going to send one out. And second touch out of Hawkser. And boy, if that had gone in, 9LIVES would have owned the highlight reel for this weekend.
Absolutely. Chance here, though. Frosty tries to take it slow. Took it too slow. Chicago will try to get this across to Kofor. Pitch across, but Kofor went for a demo on Frosty, and the opportunity went by the wayside. Probably necessary demo there on the play, but no goal from it. As they almost had a good breakaway there. SSG, even though they're being aggressive, they're sending a man up. They have to be careful. If they overextend, you can see 9LIVES ready to pounce.
Another demo, that time Scribbles taking out Kofor. That leaves Chicago one-on-one with Frosty. Kofor is back into the play, but here's Reveal. Trying to get around Hawkser. Scribbles there on the doorstep, and Kofor knocks him out. And now Hawkser trying to bring it across, and he is met hard by Frosty. This is a little awkward, though, for Space Station Gaming. 9LIVES really ramping it up here, trying to bring the fight to them and not let them get anything easy. Frosty through, no, disrupted. Scribbles countered by Hawkser. Chicago should have this, but Scribbles takes him out and then scores.
Scribbles says, get out the way from Chicago. And you can tell this just stuns 9LIVES. Hawkser tries to back up. Scribbles takes the matters into his own hands. They don't see him, and the sneak attack works perfectly. Space Station Gaming tied this game.
Here we go. Game on with 90 seconds. And a ball that just kind of ricochets out, but easily controlled by Kofor, though he lost it. And Chicago in a real tough spot, sandwiched in between a couple attackers. Manages to get this out. Go for the demo. Hawkser and Kofor almost combined for a worldie. And instead it remains tied. 1-1, just over a minute to go. Watch Kofor, though. Another shot saved away by Scribbles.
Yeah, Kofor kind of did have to turn on that. He took that mid-boost from Chicago and needed to kind of correct the play. Whoa, that was a little awkward there. Good thing no one from SSG was in position. They're able to get the ball back. Pace of play increasing, but that just leaves more room for mistakes Also, more room for greatness. Infield pass going to Scribbles, and Scribbles is really stepping up this game, trying to make an impact.
Chicago cuts through. 35 to go. Oh, Kofor got caught in an awkward spot. Frosty, nobody to defend him, and he makes them pay.
Like you said, he was tracking it the entire time. Chicago with the touch mid. Frosty saw his opportunity and made Chicago pay the price. Big double here in the final 30 seconds from Frosty.
One massive double deserves another, and it's Space Station now 30 seconds away from triple match point. Doesn't matter, though, till the clock hits zeros, and even then, may not. Chicago's got to play it all the way across. Right back in, back and forth, trying to get 9LIVES to burn their boost, and they didn't really at all. They did a good job kind of preserving their boost, and they're going to need it to get downfield. Kofor in a real tough spot. Hoxer's got plenty to work with, and Kofor just jumps forward. He's going to need to pass the ball off to someone. Instead, it's going to find Hoxer. 5 seconds. Chicago has that ricochet around. Kofor can sky it up. Hoxer does have a full tank with no time on the clock. Lip reset. Oh, came to ground, and despite the demo, could not score. Frosty, one more save, and there's no way.
They're keeping it up.
Kept that in the air.
Oh, but they don't have boost.
Possible way. No boost, no problem, as that'll go across. Can Frosty bring it down? Yes, he can. And Space Station survive in game 4.
So 9LIVES really trying there toward the end, but not necessarily enough. All it took was one mistake, too. And now 9LIVES down in the series, and they opened it up so well. I mean, you see it right there, that double from Chicago. They went at least 2 minutes keeping the game scoreless. It was Scribbles making that extra effort, getting the demo on the back end, and then Frosty made Chicago pay the price there with the double late in the game. At this stage of the game, there is very low room for error, and that's just an example of it there.
Not sure if I have missed 9LIVES taking a timeout in this series, because I haven't gotten any word that they're taking one now. So this could play out interestingly enough, with Space Station having 3 shots to close it out, and 9LIVES maybe just deciding, all right, well, there's no point taking an extra minute. Let's just go right into it. So 9LIVES going to have a tall hill to climb to get back into this one. But remember, they were down 3-1 to, let me check my notes, Gang Mobile 1 Racing. And, well, you remember what happened yesterday. So can the comeback kids do it again? We'll find out as we go to Aquadome.
Yeah, we'll see how things look here as we load it up. No timeout here. You know, you do kind of go back to the interview from Hoxer. They said at this point they are just kind of having fun with it. We'll see how much fun they're having. Not necessarily the most fun position here in the series, but we play on. 5 minutes on the clock. 9LIVES on their last life.
That's a great metaphor there, Daz. Good job.
Okay, dude. Listen, somebody asks me for one, you get one. That's it.
Here goes Hoxer, looking for Chicago. He's found him. He's also found Frosty. And then the demo on Kofor, but Hoxer recovers. Space Station still in it, though, is revealed. We'll send it all the way across, and, well, there was a demo that took one more off the field. There have been explosions all over the place here. There have been about 5 demos in this game already, and still, I mean, nobody's come any close to scoring because nobody's been around to take a shot. Hoxer does, and Frosty makes the save.
Oh, good delay there from Frosty as well. He's going to pull out 2, but 9LIVES still maintain possession. There's a good touch from Hoxer. He's looking to see if he can get another follow-up. Mechanically, good start off here in Aquadome. And 9LIVES not letting go of this ball in the corner. It's not allowing much here. I feel like it will only be a matter of time before SSG finally clear it out. But it is a great start in terms of field possession. Chance here now, though, as Frosty really tries to put the pressure on. Gets a bump on Hoxer. Is anybody there? No. Reveal was supposed to be there. He got demo.
That's karma for Reveal. He had all 3 demos for Space Station here in that first minute. Back into the play now, and he'll try to strafe across. Stole some boost on his way out of the zone, and then went after Hoxer. Came up empty. Chicago's all the way over. He's over top of Reveal, but Frosty can set it up. Reveal is right there after grabbing the midfield boost, and no factor in the play. Scribbles is, however, and he's been a factor all weekend long for Space Station. We highlighted it at the top of the show, just how disruptive he was against Ultimates yesterday. Frosty's going to let Reveal take charge, and a shot for Scribbles to try and redirect with Kofor coming on, no luck. And Kofor's got a savior medal as that one's cleared all the way back.
Oh, Chicago with a pre-jump, but doesn't stop Frosty, who was looking for that lower left corner. Good read on 9LIVES defense to be able to shut it down. Halfway through this game, it's been close. Both teams sitting around 4 or 5 shots apiece. And equal opportunity for both. I mean, it kind of does make sense. You don't see that necessarily that timeout from 9LIVES. They knew that they could still keep up closely with this SSG team.
Well, if you're not immediately on the ball, you might as well make yourself useful away from it, and Reveal has done just that. Only one player was left on the field for Space Station, though, just a moment ago, and they still all recover in time to shut down 9LIVES. Frosty will take this with very little in the tank. Reveal in reserve. He's got a full boost tank, and he's stopped Chicago. Scribbles has plenty as well, but Kofor beat him. Gonna get down on it? He could, but not on target.
Yeah, if he has a little bit more boost there, it'd give him some time to be able to get around the ball well. But still, 9LIVES come up empty. SSG, though, hasn't had the ball on offense for some time being. They're looking for a way out.
Chicago doing well to get around one. Oh, what a quick turn, though, by Reveal. And he continues to be an absolute terror in this tournament.
Yeah, especially when he's off ball. You got to watch out for him for the demo. He got Kofor to actually jump, so Kofor couldn't be in the right position when the 50 went towards midfield. Reveal knew it, turned on a dime to give SSG the lead.
Fitting that this team used to be called the Snowmen because, of course, with all this physical play, they've got every opposition just getting cold feet. Scribble shot. That's going to go through. Under the bar. Doubles the lead.
Great one here from Scribbles. He gets that initial pop. Lines it up for the follow. I like how Frosty kind of jumps to make the defense guess. And now it's a 2-goal lead. Big time goal there, especially because I did not have to respond to what Stacker said. That was great.
Was great. Thank you, Daz.
No.
Here goes Hoxer from the ceiling. They've got to get something going now. Do 9LIVES. And Chicago's got to be the guy this time. Hoxer was down there, but that didn't find him. It only found Scribbles for a powerful clear downfield. You're going to see this a lot now, I think, out of 9LIVES. And this is where Space Station is going to thrive. 9LIVES is going to try to work downfield incredibly quickly. Space Station have had an excellent counterattack. And they're not going to get to use it, though, as Hoxer does get downfield in a hurry. And he scores before the defense can catch up.
I mean, it's the musty from Chicago. They're not expecting it. Hoxer did. Full faith and just nails the shot through. 1-goal game here. 9LIVES not out of it just yet, but they down by 1, and it's late in the game. They got some work to do here.
I'll try to pinch that off the kickoff, but it was Kofor actually who came across right along the goal line and slowed down the last man back for Space Station. That opened the window just enough, and 9LIVES are set up for another cardiac finish. Kofor gonna have to play this downfield, and there is nobody else there. Nobody had any boost to follow. Now Chicago just trying to delay the inevitable, perhaps. Frosty down to 40 seconds to hold on here. Chicago tried to hold his ground in the air, and Hoxer making the save along the goal line. Over 1. Around 2. Kofor's there. They got a numbers advantage, but that one pitched across, and Chicago couldn't get around for a shot. They still have possession, though. Oh, if Hoxer had any boost, that might have been a great play, but Frosty's all over it. Now Hoxer does have boost. Picked his spot and denied by Reveal. Kofor to play hero again. That's stopped by Frosty. And that passed Chicago. Hoxer doing all he can to slow it down, but they have to go the length of the field with no time left on the clock. It has to start with Kofor, and he's let it get away, and that's going to do it. Space Station Gaming get through in 5.
So SSG continue on their streak of success here, but not without a fight from 9LIVES. It was a close showing, but SSG picked their mark really well. They did a great job breaking down the defense, and ultimately they were able to come away on top with this one. We're going to end up seeing them. They're our first team here in the grand finals today, and they look really good. I think a lot of people going into this event, you know, you had a lot of people make the early assumption, but on the level they've been playing, it has been impressive.
Yeah, they have been nothing short of spectacular. And again, you know, there's not one person that stands out individually. This is a full team effort. And I think it's a lot thanks to the preparation from their coach, X-Spear, who, you know, as word is that he had him playing European servers. Well, why not? It has certainly prepared them well for this run. And now they are one win away from taking down the North American Open. In their way, however, either NRG or Complexity. Gonna have a lot to say about it. Our second semifinal is coming your way next.
Don't pause, replay. Switch.